Great entry though. That's a great entry. What are your plans for taking profits? What were your plans? I mean, definitely trailing that stop. We've got to be trailing that stop, right? I mean, you have it right at where we wanted to get in. Right where we wanted to get in. I got in a little late to that that bounce. I was closer to like 907, 910, and then selling into like an idiot, selling into the 10-day moving average as we started to break, and then re-bought in on the break of the 20 SMA, which again, like I said, I hate breaking up good trades, right? I hate breaking up good trades. I could have caught a 40-50 point trade there, and I broke it up into 2 trades. Total profits, I think we took $638 on the entire of the 2 moves, but it's not good enough. That's not good enough. You know, that wasn't good enough. It was bad execution on my part. For whatever reason today, I was not seeing the market clearly. Not seeing it clearly, but what I was doing was my entries have been late all day. Even on the first play where I got stopped out, I went back and I looked at it. If I got in on that 20 play where I should have, and I took 5 points like I've been doing all week, I would have been filled. I would have been filled. And I checked my entry. I got in 3.5 points, 4 points over the confirmation. I was looking for close to 10 points, and by the time I got in, just immediately just retracted, and I took a full loss on that first one. So then now I'm battling back here on a Topstep account, which Topstep account fortunately is green. But that pisses me off though. It pisses me off because that Apex account that took that $500 daily max loss, I've had such a fucking tough time with that account. You know, it's still overall positive, but it's definitely giving me trouble. It's giving me trouble. For whatever reason, you know, because I trade everything on separate accounts. So it just so happens to be every other day, we're getting this confirmation of the 20 SMA. It just seems like every other day on that account is a max loss. And again, my max loss is $500. So it's like I go up $500, $700, and then the next day it's a max loss of 500. So for whatever reason, that account is taking the brunt of the losing trades, which again, I mean, that all in all, I can't even request a payout on that account until the first anyways. But it's like, come on, man, you got to work with me. You got to give me something. You got to give me something. This 20 SMA play I'm watching, it worries me because it's, you know, 20 minutes straight green. We do have resistance sitting at around 20,000. That 20,000 has been giving us problems all day. I might get in and take a little bit of a scalp here if I can see a good definitive push through this wick. So again, you know, I'm probably going to be throwing more trades than I would like to on this XFA today because I'm in that mode. I'm in that zone, and it's not the best zone to be in, to be honest. Which, because my week is green, so I really shouldn't feel like I need to press like this, but I do. Stopped out 80-point winner. Yeah, I mean, hey, we could take it. We'll take it. 80 points. I mean, come on. What kind of position size did you have on that 80-point winner? I mean, geez, you got in right at the perfect spot. You couldn't have taken a more beautiful trade. That entry was spot on perfection. So 80 points. How much? Well, I'm curious. What's the size? A little tilty today. Yeah, a little tilty for me, just due to the fact that, again, I'm human. I hate taking losses. And I know that the losses are going to come, and I preach about it all day long. We know that the losses are going to come, but I want to see something a little bit more. I want to see something because I have no problem taking losses. What I have a problem is the first trade of the day being a loss. That's the problem. That's where the emotions come in. Now, the only thing that I can say that helps with that, even though it's frustrating, is that I have multiple accounts to trade, right? Like, for all of you guys out there that are listening, I get it. If you guys have one account, like if you're trading one account, I don't know how you do it, first off. But if you're looking for to trade one account and you can't get it going, especially, I mean, what was that first trade, AJ, that a lot of us in my room took? We took it right off the first 5-minute candle, right? And then we immediately got smoked. If that's the case and you have one account, think about it. Either you go on full tilt mode from 5 minutes off the open because you're trying to get it back, or you have to shut it down and you have to walk away, which is fine. The only thing, and again, like I said, I don't know how people do it where they're only trading one account, or they only have 2 funded accounts, or they don't have any funded accounts, or just trading one evaluation. That's brutal. That's brutal. So immediately I'm going to flip to the other accounts and we're going to try to make some money back. Because essentially, with that $500 loss in the morning and being up 638 on the top step, we're only positive by 138. Okay, now realistically I shouldn't look at it that way because each account is separate, it's individual of itself. So this one account here is up 638, which is fine, should be stopping out. I'm looking for one more trade. I need at least one more trade. Who's this? Airboat Rob. First time watching, saw Matt and Alpine got killed today. Hey, it was tough, right? It was tough. Let's see what I got. Yeah, I mean, I'm up 638 today. You know, again, by the skin of my ass, I'm up 638. I definitely did take a loss along with everyone else this morning. The market was very, very choppy to start the open. I mean, these wicks up here were absolutely fucking brutal, right? It looked like we were going to break out through that swing high in pre-market, quickly wicked me in, and I got out. You know, not because I wanted to, you know. Luckily, I had that risk setting in place there to auto liquidate me at a $500 daily max loss, or else I would have been holding this thing still, right? Not realistically, but I mean, still, you know what I mean. It could have been a much bigger loss. And even on my first initial short, through this swing low here at the 605 Pacific Standard Time candle, that first low, once we lost that, it did go in into profit for a little bit, and then I just quickly sold. And then that's when we started working this Topstep account. So again, you know, let's see what we can do. What I'm looking for here is I want that test again of 20,000, right? I want to see the test of 20,000 once more. VN lost 500 on the 30-minute boundary, a 7 a.m. candle short, had 6-point take profit in the damn thing. Yeah, I'm telling you, like absolute destruction, absolute destruction. It was very difficult today. You know, I would be an absolute fool if I was to sit here and say, hey, I can't believe you guys are not making money, right? Like if you made money today, if you made money today, you know, definitely pat yourself on the back because you were seeing the market very clear. AJ, I have walked away for the day on those accounts. So there's one account that's locked up, Apex PA account that's locked up at around $100, and then the other one's locked up at $500. So technically I have walked away from those accounts. I still have more accounts that I can trade. Again, if I do start taking losses on these other accounts, I will definitely lock it up for the entirety. Which is also why I don't like copy trading. I've mentioned that before. If I was copy trading, you know, all 9 accounts that I have, I would have been down $500 times 9. I hate that shit, you know. I don't think anyone would have seen me today. My whole PC would have been out the fucking window. So that's why I don't copy trade. I know that question has been asked before. Well, if you have a strategy and it's successful, why don't you just copy trade, make more money? Because I'm human. If I take a loss on all 9 accounts, I'm going to be pissed. That's why. So, and that's the only benefit I believe to having multiple accounts, is because you can walk away without walking away, if that makes sense. We'll see what we can do here. Oh, and trust me, AJ, if I didn't have that risk management setting in place, that account, that PA account probably would have been lost. Probably would have been lost. For whatever reason, that one account is having a tough time. I don't know why. I don't know why. It's the luck of the draw, right? I'm still looking at 985 into 20,000. It should be a very quick trade if I'm able to get it. At least that's the way I'm drawing it up. That's my next resistance, is around that 20,003 mark. 20,003, the 50-day moving average on a 5-minute time frame. I am starting to get the 10-day moving average starting to curl up a little bit here, going to act as support. As of right now, we're holding the 20 SMA as support as well. Anyone got resistance right here where we're at that I'm not seeing? Anyone have resistance in the 80s that I'm not seeing? For whatever reason, why can't we get through the 80s? I understand it's this previous little support that looks like it's turning into resistance, but what else do we have here in the 80s that's pinning me down, and why we're not touching 20,000? $85.5 is actually what I'm looking for. 85.5. That's this wick here. 85.5. It's 85.5. There's the 85.5. Want to see a 10-point run up quickly. What is the resistance that we're facing here in the 80s? Besides this prior structure, I get it. I see the prior structure, but $85.5 was broken. What was that new wick we put in? 88 is what we tagged. It's down 10 points already. Son of a bitch. It's a bad spot coming into lunchtime too as well. Orders on the left. Yeah, so we got the fib there. We got the orders on the left. I see the orders on the left. I see the orders on the left. What I don't like is us coming into this lunch hour here, right? If we've kind of been bouncing a little bit going into lunch, I don't want to see this son of a bitch reverse when I'm in a long position here. And honestly, I'm not even looking for much. I'm looking for like 10 points, try to stretch into that 20,000 range. I don't know if I'm going to get it here. Bulls are losing a little bit of steam. Normally I like to see that push when we do break through a little structure. I like to see it push quickly. You know, the longer it kind of trickles around and doesn't start pushing through quickly, the more I get concerned. You know, fingers on the trigger here. Again, if I do take a loss, this is probably going to be closer to a $300 loss here if I start to see us aggressively lose this bottom floor here. We got 1 minute before we come into this lunch hour, which I don't like. I hate being in a candle. I hate being in a position, whether it's long or short, at the close of a 1 hour candle. And that's exactly where I'm at the top wick here. Not enough time. It's not going to be enough time, because you see what I'm looking at here, and let me move this chart over. You guys can't even see it. What I'm looking at here is these two supports that we have. It's too far away, so I can see us come back down, test supports before we hit 20,000 again. If they're going to push it up towards 20,000, that's the problem. I don't have enough time. It needs to go like now, like right now. It needs to make some type of attempt to stretch into the 20,000, close to it, before coming back down to test support. New hour candle is just opened up here, and on the 1 hour chart I have resistance at 90s. I have resistance at 90s on the 1 hour chart, and then 20,005. Who's got the VWAP? Where the hell's the VWAP at on the 5-minute chart? I'm gonna see a pullback before we get a pop. $998. A lot of wicks up here. All of this prior structure is concerning to me over here. All of this is concerning. Our support's way down here at 50s. Come on, baby, push through this. Got this 1 hour resistance here in the 80s as well now. 90, sitting right at 90. Tough spot. Very, very tough spot. I'm like squeezing water out of a rock trying to get five fucking points on this thing. 1 hour resistance right here, where exactly where I'm at. We just ran into 1 hour resistance. There it is. There's a 5 points, and it quickly wicked back on me. Between 5 and 10 points is what I'm looking for here. Didn't get out on the first attempt there. There we go. There's that push. There's that push I was looking for. Guys, I'm just going to lock that up because honestly, that was driving me absolutely fucking insane. We took $150 on that trade, trading one mini contract. The thought process on that was confirm this 20 SMA play here. You know, quickly confirmed, pulled right back to this 20 SMA. I was looking at the 50 SMA as a potential resistance zone at 20,000. around 20,000. We obviously had left of the chart a bunch of noise and nonsense to the left of the chart there. I mean, you know, VWAP 998. Someone said we had. What did we tag there? 996. I mean, we got damn near close to 996. If you guys notice that chart, I mean, like I said, I was looking anywhere between 5 and 10 points. No hard take profit, but what I'm looking at on the 1 hour time frame is we have resistance here at in the 90s, like 92, 93. It's a 5-day moving average. It's the 1 hour chart. So that macro chart's got resistance. It's pinned, but it's also matching up with resistance on a 5-minute chart, which 5-minute chart around 20,000 is the 50-day moving average. So what I was looking for was this little break of this consolidation here, and it's not much, you know, 5-10 points is not much. When you're struggling, when I'm struggling, anyone struggling to get the market to move 5 or 10 points in your direction, you know that it's a bad trade. Now, again, to some of those people who maybe just joined the stream late, I was in this initial long, so don't just think, right, like, why the hell is he getting long at resistance? No, I've been in this trade 3 times. So the initial trade where I got in was here at 8:20 in the morning Pacific Standard Time. Okay, right here. This is where I got in. Why? We call it a Big's bottom here at Evolution Traders, but extended selling into a level of resistance or into a level of demand. My level of demand was a linear regression channel 50 on a 5-minute time frame, an aggressive wick, right? An aggressive wick, and then we have a following candle kind of confirm that we're bouncing. So I took this long from here into the 10-day moving average, and when we broke the 10-day moving average, I got out. Yeah, well, silly me, it continues to go higher. So once we broke this 835 candle, which I'm going all the way back here to 755, if you look at this little range here, I seen we had room to push into these bottom wicks. So this was another quick scalp here, another quick scalp. And then the third trade that I took was the 20 SMA play, getting in, originally got wicked in, it pulled all the way back, and then just looking to kind of finish off this trade. Realistically, my dumbass should have been in here and held. Now, AJ in our room caught this move for 80 points. You know, finally got stopped out on the trail out, but an 80-point move is fantastic, and he held from this area down here and just kept holding, which is fine. But I am playing a little bit of size. Again, I do have to make a disclaimer. One of my accounts took a daily max loss of $500. That account is locked. I'm on a new account here, which is an XFA account, which is a funded account with Topstep, currently up $776 on the day. I'm playing things a little bit more loose, right? I'm playing things a little bit more loose today. And honestly, I'm probably just going to stop because I can tell the way that I'm going right now, I'm going to continue to take trades. Those of you guys who are long and you guys are looking for that VWAP test, looking for that, yo, what's up, Lucas? Those of you guys looking for that 20,000, you know, I could see it getting tagged. I can see the 20,000 getting tagged and actually pushing up towards 20,010, 20,020, which is a 200-day moving average. $20,020. Yeah, I like that level as well, AJ. Here's that test of the 50-day moving average. See, if you had the stones, right? Like today, I don't have the stones. I don't got the stones. You know, I don't have the stones. But that was the ultimate. That was the price target for those of you guys that were on the stream when I first started. This was the price target we were looking at, was a 20,000, right? 20,000, 20,003, and it got tagged. So I could have squeezed out a little bit more. How much could I have squeezed out there? Probably another 5 points, somewhere between maybe 5 to 7 points from where I sold, which would have been what, another $100, $120. So we did take 150, 160 on that last trade, which is fine. I'm okay with that because, again, for those of you guys know, I play a little bit. My risk management is a little different, right? When I'm playing mini contracts. I'll just say this. If I'm playing micro contracts, it's a 25-point stop loss regardless. I play 5 micro contracts, 25 points. I'm generally looking for anything between 10 and 20 points. That's what I'm looking for. Closer to 20, right? And normally it's closer to 20. So like I can give you guys some of my brackets that I have set up sometimes depending on how the market's moving, is a 75 tick take profit. It's a 100 tick stop loss, which is around 18.5 point take profit for a 25 point stop loss. Normally that's what I'm looking for on 5 micro contracts. Now when I'm scalping mini contracts, I have a daily max loss of 500. Okay, I have a daily max loss of 500, and if I lose $500, my account gets locked out. So I've got that feature set up. So I'm operating typically on a $300 to $400 stop loss on one mini contract, which is just over 10 points. So we're looking at like 12, 13 point loss. And I'm generally looking for 5 to 10 points, and I'm kind of managing that very, very aggressively. So if I get 5 points, I'm thinking about selling. If it goes up 6, 7, I might just sell, right? If it explodes and it goes up, you know, I get that 5 points and it explodes and it's like 10, 12, 13, I'm out, right? And that's how I kind of manage it. And I try to keep my trade counts to around 2, 3, 4 trades max per account and kind of filter through. So this account, that I'm on today, this is my 3rd trade on this account. So based on everything that, you know, I try to practice as far as my risk management and rules, should tell me that I should not be trading this account anymore after this. And again, to kind of lock up to $776. So that's what we want to do here. Discounts for Topstep. No, I don't have any discounts for Topstep. I used to be an affiliate for Topstep, but you know, I'm not a big major player with Topstep. So when they stripped up everyone's affiliate links, they took my affiliate link as well, you know. So it's just standard pricing with those guys, $49 for a 50K-er. You know, it is what it is. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, VN, don't go on tilt, right? Don't go on tilt. You know, if you were to talk to me 2 hours ago, I would have been 100% on tilt after taking the first loss 5 minutes of the day. I'm still thinking about it, you know. But here's the thing I want to point out: even though I'm still thinking about it, I'm not you know, going out there and trying to, you know, trade 5 contracts and trying to double my size. I'm still trying to follow my rules, right? I'm still following my rules. Switching accounts, you know, not trading accounts that are, you know, take a big loss like that, and then kind of just keep going through these accounts. But again, like I'll be the first to say today sucked, right? Like if you found today easy, or like put it this way, you know what, you know, like ignore this noise. If you see any streamer today or any YouTuber or something that post up big gains, right? Like if they post up big gains, like I'm not saying that people didn't make big gains today on this drop, because someone could have definitely seen this high of day here as a resistance spot. They could have marked this area out, got in short using probably, I don't know, maybe a 25, 30 point range up here block to just hold this short. I'm sure there's people who made thousands and thousands of dollars on this initial drop move today. But you got to be that kind of trader. If you're a scalper, the price action was actually brutal this morning. Like it was insane this morning. If you're a scalper, you know, if you're a scalper, you had a very fucking tough time. If you're one of these traders who's going to do something like this, right, where you're going to fucking draw these blocks on your screen, right, and you're going to say, okay, I see these tests up here because, you know, you're some rock star and you're patient, and you're saying, okay, I see this resistance here, I seen the sweep, okay, I'm gonna stay short, and I'm gonna, you know, start my short position, let it ride down, and when we back test and we fail to get over, I'm gonna go short. If you're one of those traders, you probably made a lot of money, right? But the truth of the matter is most of us, we're not those type of traders, right? We're not those type of traders where we're looking at this whole fucking 50 point zone up here and telling ourselves, well, let me just hold this damn thing short. If you did, congratulations. But I'll tell you that you're not the majority, right? It's very difficult for people to do that, including myself. I'm a scalper. I'm looking for quick breakouts and breakdowns. I'm looking to get in and get out. You know, the thing about those type of trades like that is that those trades operate like at a 30 to 45% win rate, right? So you're losing half the time, you're losing, right? More than half the time you're losing on those trades. You're taking losses. And then when you catch one, this type of trade like this can definitely make up your whole week. I'm more of a trader where I'm going to win 80% of the time. Okay, so how am I going to protect my ass the other 20% of the time? Like, for example, today, I fell into the 20% right off the open, and I can show you guys the setup. Where the hell's the setup at? So this first 5-minute candle of the day, look at this 5-minute candle. This first 5-minute candle came right up to pre-market high, like this previous swing high, okay? It's a 20 SMA. The following candle confirmed it. Here we go. We're taking out this prior swing high in pre-market, and then immediately got rejected and just crumbled on my ass. So how I fell into the 20% of if my strategy wins, you know, and I'm confident to say this, my strategy will win 75 or 85% of the time. Okay. So before all the smart asses say, well, if it wins 80% of the time, why don't you just copy trade this times 1,000 fucking accounts? Because guess what happens when you fall into the 20% of the time it doesn't work? Typically you go on tilt. Typically you have a bigger loss than what you normally make. And typically you start over trading. So how do I combat that 20%? Because I know that that 20% is going to absolutely happen. That 20% is going to happen. And for my ass today, it happened in the first 5 minutes. So I have protection measures in place, so I can't do anything even if I wanted to. With Apex, I trade with TraderVate. So you can go under your account, you can set up risk settings, and you can set a auto liquidate and block out your account at a certain dollar amount. I'm blocked out at 500. If I lose $500, which for me should be any one losing trade trading one mini, or 2 losing trades trading 5 micros, if that happens to me, I can't trade that account anymore. If I wanted to, I can click the buy button 1,000 times. It's not going to do anything. On Topstep X, when I have these XFAs, I also have a risk setting for a $500 daily max personal loss. So if I hit $500 personal loss, I'm done. So I can sit here, whine, pout, do everything I want to do. I can't do anything until the next day anyways. So what that allows me to do is mentally, I can be on tilt, but I can't actually physically do anything about it, you know? And the problem a lot of traders have is that when physically or mentally, when they go on tilt, or mentally when they do get emotional or they can't take any more trades, they don't have those settings in place and they keep taking trades and they end up blowing up the account, right? If I'm going to blow up one of my accounts, a funded or evaluation, it's going to take me at least 4 to 5 days of 500, 500, 500, 500, okay? 4 to 5 days. So my tilt, if we want to call it that, my tilt will last me 4 to 5 days. That's a long process to be on tilt, right? You see what I'm saying? Versus very easy to happen in one trade. You switched to the 5-minute again. I think you were trading on the 2-minute lately. Yeah, I mean, I'm back and forth. You know, depending on the price action. I'm not married to the 2 or the 5. Around 70% of the time, I'll say, around 75% of the time, I'm on the 5-minute chart. But let's say, for example, I'm watching the 5-minute chart and there's nothing going on. I'll go over to my 2-minute, and if I see that setup, I'll take it. I'll tell you this, Steam, 5 points, that son of a bitch will hit for 80%. And if you want to get really aggressive with it, where you want to trade bigger size, go to a 12-tick take profit. Okay, don't tell anyone I told you. Keep that secret to you guys. Keep that secret to you guys. Okay, 12-tick take profit. If you want to go heavier size, you can get in on 2 contracts and take about $150. 3 contracts take about $250, $225. Look for it, but again, here's the rules. Again, don't tell everybody. Here's the rules. If you win 1 trade, 2 trades, you got to stop. Okay, because if it's going to hit it 80% of the time, if you do fall into the 20% on your 3rd trade, 4th trade, you're going to blow it up. You're going to fuck everything up. So just 5 points I like. I'm on a 5-point take profit probably about 65% of the time. Sometimes I'm looking for 10 points, you know, maybe another 20% of the time. And then there's those occasions where I'm trading micros and I'm looking for 75 ticks. And then if the market's really not doing anything, or I want to play a little aggressive, I got something to do today, I'll take my opportunity at one trade, 12 ticks, you know, 2 or 3 contracts. But keep it to yourselves, guys. Keep it to yourselves. Zeke, 985 is a 4-hour level. Thanks for that. 985. We got 4-hour level. 985. AJ, what are you on? AJ, are you on TraderVate? Are you on Topstep X? Which one are you on? Those are the two I know you can do it on. I don't know anything about NinjaTrader. Looking to see if we get some type of pullback here into 79s or even 50s, see if we put in a higher low. Yeah, give it a quick Google, AJ. I'm sure you can do it. There's got to be a way you can do it. Anyone in chat, do you guys know a way to set the risk settings on NinjaTrader so it'll lock out? Yeah, typically I try to get in, you know, maybe a couple of ticks over the level. Sometimes even 1 point, but I try to get in about anywhere between 2 ticks and 1 point. There was one instance, I forgot if it was last week, maybe even the week before. Maybe it was this week, I don't know. This week I felt has lasted 3 years. We're breaking through the 50 SMA now, guys. Next resistance is going to be in the 20s. There was one time, I don't know if it was, I know it was between this week or the last 3 weeks. This thing confirmed a 20 SMA play, literally went up 1 tick, 0.25, and came back down like 30 points. I want to say it was this week, to be honest. That's crazy, right? I mean, again, there's nothing you can do about that. There's nothing you can do about it, right? Like even on the play, I'm going to back test and I'm going to study this and I'm going to journal this. Guys, we have resistance at 20,020. I'm going to study this. There's nothing I could have done. Nothing. Nothing I could have done differently on this trade. The only thing I could have done differently on this trade was get in right at the top wick. I didn't. By the time I got filled and they market ordered me in, that was probably my biggest mistake, marketing into this trade like that, because I got filled about 3 points up, and even the 5-point take profit didn't get hit. Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't copy trade personally. That's why I don't copy trade. I just can't handle it. It's not me, you know. I give a lot of credit to the guys who are copy trading 10, 20 accounts. A lot of credit to those guys. That's not me. Can't do that. You got to know who you are as a trader. That's not me. Look at the push. Look at the push. AJ, we could have still been in this trade from the beginning. Talk about the best fucking entry. Guys on chat. Me and my buddy AJ, we had this trade down in here. Whoops. We had this trade down in here. In that black box I put on there, we had that bounce there. But here's the thing. Here's why I couldn't just hold it. I was in one mini contract. My max pain had to have been low of day, right? My max pain had to have been low of day. That's 40 points, 45 points. There's no way I could have a mini contract at a 45, 50 point stop loss. I had to be thinking scalp. I didn't know it was going to go this high. You know, think about it. We could have just came here and came back down. We could have came here and came back down. What a joke, right? Everything always looks fucking great in hindsight. That's why I say, you can look, even when you guys do your back testing, you can do your back testing all you want, but everything's always going to look so much clearer. Like it's going to look so great. Like, oh, why didn't we just get long here and hold it up here? Because it didn't like, it doesn't really move that way. It doesn't really move that way. You know? Almost got a V-shaped recovery here on the Nasdaq. Guys, is anyone still long? Anyone still long? It's very close to where I would have that ultimate take profit. Just be smart and take your money. Be smart. You're squeezing water out of a rock. You know, if you're like telling yourself, well, I think this is just gonna break high of day and go up another 100 points, it can. If you really believe that, just do me a favor. Do me a favor. Move your stop loss way the hell up. Like way the hell up. Like put your stop loss, I don't know, somewhere in the 80s. You know, somewhere in the 80s. Right around here, right where this last resistance was, or support was back here. Somewhere in the 80s. And then just hold it. But if you were just looking for a quick move, right? You're just looking for that quick move. Guys, take your money. It's Friday. It's Friday. Why the hell would we want to? Why would we want to ruin it? You know? Why would we want to ruin a Friday? So how did my other YouTube buddies do today? Someone said they were on Matt's channel. Someone said they were on Alpine's channel. How did those guys do today? I didn't even tune in to those guys. I didn't even check up on them. How are we looking out there? How's everyone looking out there? Everyone's red today. Alpine almost blew up his PA accounts. Rough morning. I hear you. It was a rough morning. Might get another 20 play short high of day. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Everyone was red today. That sucks. You know why that sucks? It sucks because it's Friday. And even if, right, like even if, you know, you're profitable, you took out payouts. I know a lot of us we got our payouts from Apex on the 1st through the 5th, but it's like it just sucks when you take a loss on a Friday, because you have to sit there and dwell on that shit for the next 2 days, right? And what it really does is it like forces you to come in so amped up on Monday to get it back. Never something you want to do. So what I recommend always on a Friday, and I should have taken my own advice early, was, you know, if you catch one trade, just be gone. Like I should have just not even taken the last trade on this account that I'm trading, because if this last trade that I was in, if it didn't work and I was down 300-400, I was going to turn a $600 green day into like a $200 green day, and that would have pissed me off. Yesterday I blew my FTT 15 accounts and Topstep exercise, but I'm 11, so again I traded like dumb. Yeah. What is it? Yeah, no, yeah, I mean, yeah, the copy trading gets people. It gets you. Like I've never been a big fan of it. I see the benefits of it. I see the benefits. Nice job, AJ. I see Wait, what? AJ, you took another trade? What are you talking about? Took another trade long? Take another trade long, AJ? Oh, nice. Look at AJ. Nice. Good. So you this move for you, you captured 100 points. Took 100 points on this move. It's great. Um, nice. Nice. Way to battle back today, huh? Way to battle back. So we're up at this resistance, guys, at this 200. If anyone sees this yellow line is a 200-day moving average on a 5-minute time frame. On our 1 hour chart, we're looking at resistance sitting right here too at 20,028 at a 20-day moving average. So we got a little bit of resistance there. If this market's going to continue to bounce, I would like to see this hour candle, the high, get confirmed and then take out that supply on the 1 hour chart. That would give us a little bit of confirmation that this market could potentially be going red to green today. Again, before that happens, I would like to see a pullback into 19,089 or even down here closer to 60. That would make a stronger move for a red to green. Exactly. Yeah. I don't like trading when, you know, we're gapping up huge either. It takes out all the range, right? So your best moves are always going to be when the market opens up slightly green or slightly red in one direction, and then you get a continuation. So like, I'll just paint a scenario for you. Here's a picture. Let's say the market's opening up a red 50, 60 points. And then off the open, the market flushes 40 points, 50 points. I like that move for a red to green. So trap those early shorts, find support, either take it through the pre-market highs, a 30-minute range high or 15-minute range high, or try to find that support and go red to green. I don't like when the market is down 180 points red and then jumping short when we're already down 200. I don't like that because typically you get trapped in that move. So it's always the reverse reaction, right? Just like the day we were up, you know, 500 or 450, and then we just continue to go. Those days are very tough to trade because if you're trying to reverse the move, you end up getting caught all day long. No, I'm not going full port. I'm trading one mini contract. Oh, no, you're talking to someone else. Talking to someone else, my bad. Yeah, 6K on a 50K is awesome. Mm. Hey, good luck, Zeke. Have a good one. AJ, call it a day. AJ, lock that puppy up. Lock that puppy up. Later, buddy. I'm gonna wait until after lunch, guys, and see what kind of setup we get after lunch. Or maybe one more trade. It's a hard maybe. It'd have to be something really good. Have to be something really good. What a day. What a day. What a day. There's always another day. Always another day. Hey, nice work, Maverick. Did you recover? Were you able to recover the losses? That's not bad. We could deal with that. I'm in the same boat as well. I've got a red day in one account, but we're green in some others. So all in all, you know, it comes with the territory. We just got to keep battling. The main thing we have to realize, and I will go through and I will have, like, I will self-reflect after the market close. I will write some journal notes down. But you have to constantly remind yourself, right? You know, what does your true edge strategy, you know, over the course of your back testing, over the course of your trades, what is your percentage? What's the win rate percentage on average? You know, with your normal stop loss, with your normal take profit, what is the average that you are winning? Okay. Now, what you need to do from there is you need to understand that you're going to have those days and those trades where you're going to be on the opposite side of that winning percentage. Okay. So what tends to happen a lot of times with a lot of traders is they'll find themselves in that percentage of losing, and they don't understand that they just need to continue to work through that percentage. They need to work through those numbers. So example, if your strategy hits at 70% or 60%, you're going to win 6 to 7 trades out of 10. But the other 30% of losing trades could happen consecutive 3 times, back to back to back to back. How do you handle that when that happens, right? You know, are you sized appropriately so where you can even see through the other side of those 3 or 4 potential losing trades back to back to back, right? Because all we're looking to do is understand the risk that we're putting on the table once we get into the trade, and you got to take the trades and let the numbers pan out. So yes, maybe today early we were on that losing percentage of our edge, right? But you keep working through it, and then you finally eventually catch those setups. So for example, you know, if I was to play through how I trade, yes, I took a losing trade off the open. Great, I got to accept it. Am I upset about it? Sure. Move it to the side, move on to another account. The next trade setup that I was really looking for was that 30-minute opening range, right? That 30-minute opening range low. So if you look at the 30-minute opening range was sitting at 19,991. Once we confirmed, it went down to 19,983. Okay, so quick 5-point take profit there. Now we're back working positive on that edge. The next setup that I took was this, you know, this bottom bounce here off of the linear regression. We got that wick. We went ahead and took that long for another scalp, and then that 20 SMA play that I was in when I started the stream here, you know, paid out for another, it was like 7 points or 8 points. I took 150 on that. The numbers are going to work themselves out how they may, right? The numbers are going to work out how they may. You got to just keep working through it. And a lot of times traders, they don't want to work through it. They just want every trade to win, or they were never comfortable. They were never comfortable with the loss that they put on the table. Like they're too focused on the outcome. That's right now. I mean, that's the biggest thing I can think of, right? When I think about, you know, even myself, why do we lose? Why do we get stuck Why do we take, you know, one step forward, three steps back? You know, what is the biggest cause? What is the biggest cause of why a trader can't get consistent? What is the biggest cause of why one trader can't get to passing an evaluation or getting to that first payout? You know, what are some of the things that limit the ability to do so? A lot of times, first things first, it's position sizing way too big. That's an easy one. It's way too big. Playing mini contracts when you're not ready and your account can't handle the drawdown and the volatility and the moves of mini contracts. You're not emotionally ready. That's a big one. Let's start with position sizing. How about we cut our position size in half? If you've been trading one mini, trade 5 micros. If you've been trading 2 minis, let's trade 1 mini. If you've been trading 5 micros, let's trade 3 micros. Cut the position size in half. Number 2, get your risk in order. Get your risk in order. And what that means is ask yourself the question, if you need to go, you know, go look in the mirror and have a conversation with yourself and ask yourself, how much am I realistically okay with losing, that if the trade, as soon as I get into it, immediately goes against me and stops me out? What is that number where I'm not going to have a panic attack, where I'm not going to seek counseling? What is that number? Is it $100? Is it $200? Is it $500? Is it $1,000? What is that number? Once you come on to discovering what that number is, from there is going to dictate how much position size you can play. Okay? So if that number is $200 a trade, then we're probably not going to want to play one mini contract, right? We're probably not going to want to play one mini contract. Maybe we should probably play 5 or 3 micros. Well, I'm not going to make that much. Well, you're not ready to lose that much either. You know, my friend, if you're not ready to lose $200 on a trade, how are you, you know, ready to willingly accept $1,000 on a winning trade? It doesn't work that way, right? Everyone's okay with a $500 winning trade, but you're not okay with a $500 losing trade, right? So figure that number out from the jump. The third thing that I can really think of is you don't have enough capital, period. And when it comes to prop firms, you don't have enough accounts, period. You got 1 or 2 accounts. I'll use myself as the example. You take the first losing trade. It's a max loss. You got 1 account, you want to battle it back. You were $1,000 away from passing. You're 1 day away from requesting a payout. You go on tilt and you start taking trades that are outside of your win rate percentage. And you start oversizing. You do all kinds of funny shit. You need more capital. When I first started trading 10 years ago, the person who taught me how to trade, a family friend of mine, told me, when I asked him, I have X amount of dollars, right? I have X amount of dollars coming into the market. I'm okay. I've got my living expenses kind of taken care of here. I've got some income coming in as well from prior endeavors. This is what I have. He said, you need more. I said, how much more? He says, a lot more, 5 times more, 10 times more. You know why? Because the more money you have, the more money you're going to make, the more like less stressed you're going to be. I said, well, I don't have a way to get any more capital. This is what I got. He said, well, then when you make more capital, you better protect that capital. Okay, so great. So you always need more money. Okay, in terms of prop firms, because you can leverage at so much, you need more accounts, right? Don't go out there, guys, and try to trade 2 or 3 accounts. These things cost $50 a pop. They cost $30 a pop. Go out there and get 10 of them. Get 15 of them. Get 20 of them. I don't care. Because then you can start to spread that risk out. Think about this. If you had 15 accounts through, I don't care what prop firm. It doesn't have to be Apex. It doesn't have to be Topstep. It could be any account, any prop firm. If you have 15 accounts, realistically, you can take 15 trades a day. 15 trades a day. Do you think that you're going to lose 15 setups each and every single day? Probably not, right? You might lose 2 or 3, which means that you're going to take some losses on 2 or 3 accounts, but you might be green on 4 or 5 accounts. Now, I'm not saying to get 15 accounts and go actively look for 15 trades to try to squeeze all 15 accounts a trade. I'll be completely honest. Right now I have 9 funded accounts across two firms. There's days where I don't trade some of those accounts because I might trade 2 or 3 accounts, they end up green, I just stop on the day. There might be a day like today where I take a loss on 2 accounts, and then I have the third account, which is pretty healthy green for what I consider healthy green for me. These are like good numbers for me, you know? You're never going to see me out here making $5,000 a day. I'm a scalper. I don't even look for that many points. I don't even trade that much size to make $5,000 in a day. If I was to make $5,000 a day, I'd have to take like 20, 30 trades. It's just probably not going to happen. We're still pushing up. Now we're back up over this 200-day moving average. What was that level we were looking at? 28s, 20,000, 28s. We're right there now. Jeez, what a move. But anyways, so having multiple accounts definitely helps. And then understanding and living with that loss. A lot of you guys get upset when you take a loss on an evaluation or even a funded account, and it's like, why would you go and piss away the whole account and go on revenge mode on that one particular account when you have options to trade multiple accounts? When at the end of the day, until you're taking out cash monthly, it's just funny money. Like the prop firm, it's all funny money. It's not even real unless you prove that you can actually follow rules and discipline and extend this trading process. Some of these prop firms, you know, you have to trade 5 days, make X amount. Some of these prop firms, you have to trade at least 10 days, make X amount. So why are you trying to do it all in one day? It makes absolutely no sense. And then the fourth, which is probably the biggest one, is to understand that this is an ongoing, never-ending cycle. If your strategy wins at 70%, 65%, you gotta get through enough trades to even see it through. Like, if you don't understand that, you might take 4 losses today. It doesn't mean anything, because over the next 10 or 20 trades, you're probably going to be green if that edge is operating at a 65% win rate, 70% win rate, and your risk to reward ratio is your risk management is built into where after X amount of trades, it should be profitable. You should be profitable. So why are you not getting to that profitability? Because you're not seeing it through long enough. Slow down. The main thing that I would say, and I would start, like, I want to actively start telling traders, is to slow down. Stop trying to go so damn fast. Stop trying to pass this evaluation today, tomorrow. Stop trying to get your payout the end of next week. Slow down. Slow down. What I will be looking for here is to see if we can confirm this hour high. Maybe we get a little action there. I would prefer to see a pullback before we do take out this hour high. And that's the thing. That's the thing, Cash. You can't be afraid to take the loss. That goes to everyone out there. Like, we can't be afraid of the outcome of losing a trade. Why would we be upset? Like, I would generally like a roundtable discussion, anyone to chime in here. Why would we ever, as a trader, be afraid to take that loss? If you already know how much you're going to lose prior to taking that trade, which tells me you should already be okay with that number if it does lose. Can you explain if you change any settings? No, I changed no settings on a linear regression. What I use on the 5-minute time frame is a 5-day chart, 5-minute time frame. I drop a linear regression channel 50 on Thinkorswim. I cannot speak for if that linear regression matches up on any other platform. I think we've tried to get it to match up almost perfectly on a number of different platforms, and for whatever reason, it doesn't. I've been trading on this platform for years and years and years, and it's always been the same for me. I don't change anything. I don't know how to change anything on the linear regression settings. I just plot it. Bad psychology is right. Oversizing is right. It's like, why are we not taking our time, guys? I get it. Some of us need to get that payout next week. We need to pass. We've been doing this for so long, but you're going to keep doing this longer and longer and longer without ever seeing payouts if you keep rushing the process. The good days will come. The good days are going to happen naturally. You're going to take your 3-4 setups. They're all going to win. You're going to make 500. You're going to make 2,000. Those days are just naturally going to come. Beers sound great. Beers sound great right now. Oversizing it, I think, is one of them. Holding a small account size, since drawdown will be very small, most of them trade mini. Yeah. I mean, it's like oversizing will fix 80% of your problems. Stop oversizing. That's going to fix 80% of your problems. Once you stop oversizing and you get okay and comfortable with taking the smaller wins, right? Because I'll tell you this, you're definitely okay taking a smaller loss. You're definitely okay with taking a $150 loss versus a $400 loss. You'll be okay with that, fine. But you're not really okay with taking a $100 winner when you could have made 400. That's what you're not okay with. And again, when it breaks down to that, that's a you issue. That's a personal issue. You know what I'm saying? So again, when you really think about it, that's a major psychology issue that needs to be worked through, because the psychology is backwards. You should be okay with taking the $100 winner and accepting the $150 loss versus not okay with taking the $100 winner but wanting to accept the $400 loss to trade more size. It doesn't make any sense. So again, you know, when you really think about it, slowing down and not oversizing is going to help 80% of you out there. You know, you have this fictitious mindset of this timeline where you have to do things in this amount of time and have to make this amount of money. I've talked to so many traders in the past and I've said, you know, like, what's your daily goal? Like where do you feel comfortable stopping out at? And people have told me like, oh, well, if I could make $900 or $800 a day. Like, my friend, if you make $900 or $800 a day, you're talking about almost making $15,000, $20,000 a month. You know how hard that is to do? And you're telling me you're trying to do that on one account. You're trying to do that on one $50,000 account. Do you know that you're trying to return 25, 30% on your margin, on your leverage each and every month? Do you know how hard that is? Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. That same shit right there, Necky. You know, it's like the mental side of this business is the hardest side of this business. All of this other shit out here, okay? All of this other crap, strategies, this, that, blah, 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 is all bullshit. It's all bullshit to overanalyze stuff in your head to get you thinking that you have found the magic holy grail. When in reality, you can look around. The way I trade, completely different. I'll just use some of the other cats that are out there. Completely different than the way that Alpine trades. Completely different than the way that Trades by Matt trades. Completely different than the way like Nutty Bar trades. Completely different than the way, who are the other guys? That PW trades. Completely different than the way ICT trades. Completely different than the way the guys on Topstep TV trade. Completely different. Are you telling me that any one of these people have a better way of trading than the other? No. My way of trading is no better than their way of trading. Just like their way of trading is no better than the way that I trade. I just know what works for me, and I know that what I can identify and follow. But what I'm really good at is managing my fucking risk. you know, and taking my damn time. Social media is also a big problem as well. You know, because when all you see, like I'm going to make a video and I'm going to tell all, I don't know how many people are in here. There's not that many. All 40, 53 people of you guys, I'm going to make a video and the title of the video is going to be plus $775 trading the Nasdaq today. How I made $775 trading Nasdaq today. That's going to get people to click. Okay. And I know that it's going to get people to click. But the first thing that I'm going to say is that this was probably one of the hardest days for me to ever make this amount of money. I'm lucky to have even made anything today, to be honest. But the psychology of the average person, average retail trader out there wants to know how someone else made X amount of money because they can do it too. Guys, for what I will tell all of you guys here is stop worrying about all these other cats. Stop worrying about all these other cats. You know what I'm saying? Like don't worry about no one else. Because let me let you guys in on something. For a lot of these big time people, they got a lot of big time money coming in that they could just casually throw, you know, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars at evaluations and pass them and take, you know, 10 accounts to pay out and 5 accounts to pay out and do all this crazy funny shit, right? Versus your average person's not really doing that. Your average person's not really going out there and spending hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars each and every single week to pass these things, to take that one big payout. That one big payout looks great. The $20,000, the $40,000 payout, the $100,000 payout, all of that stuff looks great when you see it from the outside looking in, but you don't know what's actually going on behind the scenes, how to get there. Slow your ass down and try to take one payout this month. Yeah, bro. Yeah. I mean, I am definitely not a video editor at all by any stretch of the means. All I know how to do is click record. I know how to start talking and then I know how to stop record and that's it. So yeah, I'll definitely shoot me an email. Shoot me an email. Gotcha, Zeke. Yeah, 5 minute, 5 day chart. Is it matching up now? Coming out of lunch hour here. I've got a linear regression sitting at 20,039 area. I've got previous hour high sitting at 20,036. If this pulls back and takes out 36s, we might get a little bit of a continuation higher. What I would ultimately like to see is probably a deeper pullback before a continuation higher. So I'd like to pull, you know, as low as 20,000 or even 90s. For me, that would be a little bit better of a stronger move if this is going to go red to green on the day. I'd like to see that. Sizing down also helps with opening up your stop loss. It helps with slowing things down. A lot of times when we trade big size, as soon as we click the buy or the sell button, we want to be right. And a lot of times when you get into a trade, it wiggles around. Goes against you before it goes green. Most of the time, probably 60%, maybe even 70% of when I enter a trade, the trade starts off red. And the very few times that when I enter the trade and it just shoots up, normally I just get filled. Like it goes and I get my 5, 10, 15 points and it just gets filled. I didn't have to do anything. Right? It just went. But about half the time when I get into a trade, it might go green for a second and then go red. And then it trickles around, and then goes in my favor. Right? So you got to get comfortable with managing when you get into a trade and it goes red and it goes sideways. That builds emotions, that builds anxiety. You gotta work on that. And I think that how you work on that is by sizing down. Like, just, God, if I can like grab some people and like shake some sense into them, I don't get it. I don't get it. And I'm only speaking to people who are having trouble passing, who are having trouble getting payouts. If you have a system right now where you're actively taking out money out of these markets or these prop firms on a monthly basis or even an every other month basis, but it's steady and you found your system, you found what works for you, don't listen to me. Just do what you're doing, right? I'm talking to the people who are having trouble getting payouts. And I'm speaking to people as if you guys are already past evaluations. Like, we're not even talking about evaluations, guys. I'm like, I don't want to talk about evaluations. Evaluations is nothing. Like, if we're having trouble passing evaluations, we got fucking bigger problems. We got bigger problems. I'm talking about when you guys are in funded account, not evaluations. You know, if you want a way to pass evaluations quickly, I think you already know how to do it. And if you don't know how to do it, send me an email. I will tell you how to pass an evaluation in 1 day. Like, haven't you guys ever noticed? You ever take a look at some of the big time streamers and see them lose PA accounts and then all of a sudden they're back up at 20, like literally the next day, literally 2 days later? You ever wonder how they're doing that? I think you guys all know. So if you know, do it. And then now let's really talk business and talk about these funded accounts, because that's where we're going to get paid. We're not talking about evaluation. What do you guys think? You guys think we take out previous hour highs? How are they passing evaluations in 1 day? Max size, 10 contracts, 16 points, 1 trade, buying 10 of them at a time, buying 20 of them at a time, or 5 contracts, looking for, 3 points, looking for 5 points, taking 3 trades. You need 3 winning consecutive trades. 5.5 points, you need 3 winning consecutive trades. 10 contracts, you need 1 trade. One-minute opening range, 2-minute opening range, 5-minute opening range, max size. Boom. You're going to lose a bunch of them. You're going to pass some of them. Very, very simple. My email is DAnthonyTrades. So DEEAnthonyTrades@gmail.com. And if you want to take a slower approach, like maybe you want to take 1 or 2 weeks to pass, we can trade a little bit less size. We can trade 1 or 2 mini contracts. We can look for a few moves and we can try to hit. But again, if we're going to take it a little bit slower, like 1 or 2 weeks, that's going to also drag out the process. Also, guys, if you plan on just, if you also plan on just buying 1 or 2 accounts and telling me you want to pass like tomorrow, that's not going to work. It's not going to be enough. Some don't. I'm only speaking about Apex. So if I'm talking about Apex, if we're talking about Topstep, it's a little different. We need to keep it under $1,500 a day. Some of the other prop firms might have some different rules as well. When we're talking about Apex, we can definitely pass those things in 1 day. But the thing is that for those of you guys who do want to pass evaluations quickly, do you have a system to actually make, let's say, $3,000 in a month? Can you do it? Like, if you can take one evaluation and slowly trade it for 30 days and make $3,000, then I think you're ready to start passing evaluations quickly. If you are having trouble Or you make $1,000 and then you blow an account. You make $800 and then you blow the account. I don't think you're ready. You could have 100 funded accounts. You're not going to get any payouts. So you need to actually have a way to make around 3,000, because that's probably going to be around your minimum. I'll put it to you this way. Yesterday I passed a PA account. I don't want to go all the way back to that price action. It's going to screw my chart up. Yesterday I passed an Apex evaluation in one trade. It was 10 mini contracts long through, I'll pull it up. I'll show you. Show you yesterday's price action. Okay. You guys see this chart? 30-minute opening range. 30-minute opening range. Okay, yesterday was a 30-minute opening range. 10 contracts on the break of the 30-minute opening range for 15 points or 15 and a half points take profit. Immediately got filled in like a minute. That was it. That was one. I copy traded at times 10, it'd be 10 accounts. If copy traded times 20, it'd be 20 accounts. I don't copy trade anything, but I'm just giving you an example. And that was all I was looking for. 30-minute opening range trade. As soon as we confirm, get into the trade, have the order sitting there, and have the take profit in place. As soon as the take profit gets hit, you're done. It's 10 contracts. It's 15, 16 points. And that's it. I mean, it's very simple. Now, again, because Apex has the max the trailing threshold, sometimes it goes up, 2,000 and shoots back down. You get busted for the trailing threshold. That's why I'm saying, like, if you just want to buy one account and you want to try it, you're probably going to blow it. You need to buy a few of them, like have a few of them going here. Again, I don't always, for you, AJ, I don't always try to pass in one trade. I was just messing around with Burks's ATM strategy, and it hit. But normally, if I'm trying to pass them quickly, I will trade 5 mini contracts. I'll look for 5 points, and I'll try to bang out 3 or 4 winning trades and kind of get that to close balance to trade. And then, like, on the second or third day, just kind of scrape by profits. That's it. That's how I try to pass it normally. I really wouldn't mess with the 1 minute opening range. Maybe the 5 minute opening range, the 15 minute opening range, or the 30 minute opening range. I mean, you can do it on the 1 minute, but it's very aggressive. But again, I mean, if we have no way or no plan to trade the account once we get into the funded stage, it does you no good. Like, it's gonna do you no good. Yesterday, that was yesterday to pass the account. Alejandro, yesterday. But I mean, I play the 30-minute opening range all the time. I play the 30-minute opening range all the time. But normally, like, if I'm on a funded account, I'm not playing the 30-minute opening range to pass. I'm just taking it as a trade, as a scalp. You can do it on the 1 minute, but I mean, again, the 1 minute, it can be very aggressive. It could be very dangerous. But there are traders who trade the 1 minute. Yeah, you can definitely do it. I mean, guys, it'll work on anything. You can put a freaking you can put a buy order here or a sell order here, and if it gets, the points, it gets the points. But you want to take it around a legitimate setup. That's what I'm saying. I don't play the 1 minute chart, so that wouldn't truly be my opening range. But I play the 5 minute chart, so I would be comfortable with that. And I play the 30-minute opening range, so I'm comfortable with that. I've seen it work, you know. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. The tilt on Topstep X, I mean, is supposedly showing you everyone who's trading Topstep accounts who's long or short. I don't pay any attention to that jazz. I don't know how many times I've watched where they're getting short when tilt is at 78% short, and then they're going long, and then it's still going short. Like, you know, the thought process is the higher the tilt, you want to go against the grain because you want to be with the 20% versus the 70%. You know, if 80% of traders lose, 90% of traders lose, but 90% of and 80% of traders are going long right now, maybe I don't want to be long with them. Maybe I want to be short, right? I don't scalp the 1 minute. I don't scalp the 1 minute. I scalp the 5 minute. I scalp the 2 minute. Typically, Maverick, yeah, it can. You just got, the best thing is to just not rely on the, hey, we're at, you know, I use a 20 SMA on 2 minute. The best thing that is like to not say we're at 78% short, so I want to start going long. You want the, we're at 78% short, and we're also at a 200-day moving average support. And if this starts to bounce, maybe I'll look to use that low of day as a stop and go long, right? So don't just take it as 80% short and click the buy button, 80% long and click the sell button. Make sure that's matching up with something technical on your chart. You know what I'm saying? I've stopped glancing at it. Like, I don't even look at it anymore, but because it just creates too much, honestly, it creates too much bias for me. Yeah, so like if you're going to use tilt on Topstep X, make sure it's correlating with something. Like, you want to see something else going along with that, right? Don't just go in blind. I don't have a big risk to reward ratio. I'm only looking for like 1 max. Sometimes 1.5. It's not that much. Exactly. Yes, Jolene. Yes. You know, I look at the opening range, right? So I'll take, like, for example, guys, let's show you something here, right? We're doing a 30-minute opening range, so you guys can see it. This is how I will do it. Okay. So here's the 30-minute candle. So what I will do is I will mark out this range. Okay. Typically, the range high and low will be set before it even starts to confirm on a following 30-minute candle, right? So it's not like you're going to be scrambling around for time. Sometimes you are, sometimes you're not. But here's a 30-minute opening range, okay? So once that range is set, I come over to the 5-minute chart. That's typically the chart that I scalp off of. Sometimes it's 2-minute. Again, I'm not married to one time frame. Okay. Like, for example, today's opening range got stuffed, right? But I want to show you guys something. So look at this. If you look at when we broke the 30-minute opening range, that 30-minute opening range was sitting at 19,991. Okay. When we broke the 30-minute opening range, it went down to 19,983. Okay. So typically I'm looking for 5-point take profits, right? Can we like if I'm looking for a 5-point take profit and I have an order sitting, a stop order sitting below, like right below 19,991. Okay. So the price was 19,991.25. If I have a stop order to go short with a 5-point take profit at 19,991, when the next candle opened up, it swept that and immediately went down to 19,983. By a show of hands, did my 5-point take profit get filled? By a show of hands. Now, obviously, this went a lot farther down, okay? And typically today was not a good 30-minute opening range, because typically when we break that, you just see a flush, like a 10, 15, 20-point flush, and then a bounce, and then if it's going to confirm. Today it just quickly wicked down there, came right back up, wicked down there again. That's why this morning's price action was absolute dog shit. It was absolute dog shit. It went down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. But if you had a 5-point take profit, you would have got filled. Now, if you're trading one mini contract, that's $100. If you're trading two, 3, you do the math, right? And again, I'm going to be the first to say that this 30-minute opening range was absolute dog shit, because normally this thing will go down 10, 15, 20 points and then snap back and then wick back. I don't look at Bookmap. I don't use Bookmap. That's the thing, guys. I don't use a lot of this jazz that's out there, right? I don't use a lot of this jazz. I'm looking for the same few things each and every single day. And when those same things happen, I take it. I don't take what the fucking Bookmap is doing. I don't take, what's the tape doing, what's the ladder doing. I have the levels, I see the levels, and they break, they confirm, I take the trade. That's it. Futures. I trade options as well in the morning. And I trade, I trade the big ones: Tesla, Nvidia, AMD, so forth and so forth. You can use a 6-point take profit, Lucas. Use a 6-point take profit. I know that there's firms out there that don't like that type of type of scalping. Just use a 6-point take profit or a 7. In this particular case, even with the shit price action today, very wiki price action, if you got in at 991 and we dropped to 983, I mean, you still would have been filled at 6 and 7 points. I always day trade options. Yeah, I don't hold options. I trade options the same way I trade futures. I trade futures the same way I trade options. Same setup. Look at the hourly chart. Do we have room? Do we confirm previous hour high or low? Do I have room? 5-minute SMA, 5-minute 20 SMAs, so forth and so forth. The 3 lines are the linear regressions. So this is a linear regression channel 50. I have a bunch of charts that I use, but I mean, the main moving averages that I'm going to follow: 20 SMA. I use a 200 SMA, 50 SMA. I've got a 10 SMA on my chart. I've got a bunch. But what I'm using to take entries a lot of the times is the 20 SMA. And I will highly respect the I will highly respect the 200. That's right, Neki, that big boy chart. Watch, let's put this big boy chart up on the screen. People go crazy over this thing. So guys, I'm always looking at this chart as well. Like, this chart is on another monitor and I'm using this chart. So for example, right now I've got a whole lot of supply up in this area. You notice all this crazy action that's going on, all these colored lines. It's all supply. Now that we've closed below the 20 SMA, we're sitting right here at this 50. If I confirm this 50, there might be room down to the Bollinger Band. That's exactly how I play: supply to supply, demand to demand. Okay, supply to supply, demand to demand. If this 20 SMA play gets confirmed, it would also be confirming a loss of the 50-day moving average on a 5-minute time frame. Potentially would have room down to 19,970. That's how I'm reading the chart. That's it. Supply to supply, demand to demand. 30-minute range on ES. I don't know what that means. There's a 30-minute range on everything right now. My trade window is between market open and lunchtime. So I'm going to be most active in my trading between 6:30 a.m. I'm located in California, between 6:30 a.m. and around 8:39. That's when I do the bulk of my work. All of this other jazz where I come on stream and I'm watching this price action, to me, I don't like it. It's shit price action, in my opinion. I don't really trade it. I'm using Bollinger Bands. Bollinger Bands are these white ones right here. A lot of questions today in chat, I'm noticing. How much profit in NQ, E-mini, and E-mini SPY can you tell? What does that mean? How much profit? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. How much profit in NQ, E-mini, and E-mini SPY can you tell? I don't know what that means. One NQ is $20 a point. See how we're hanging on here to this 50 SMA? Even though this is a 20 SMA setup, we're hanging on to this 50. I would want to see this 50 get broken to maybe open up a little bit of a scalp to the downside. Very choppy range here. We've been in for over an hour. Been in a tight range for an hour. And the 1 hour chart, the 1 hour chart is also sitting at support. This is an ugly chart, guys. It's an ugly chart. You know, it's like squeezing water out of a rock. The best looking setup to me, honestly, is a long over 20,036. We might have a scalp below 90s, but it might be very, very quick, right? It might be very, very quick. No. What I said was, if I'm gonna try to pass in a couple of days, I'll trade like 3 to 5 minis. If I'm playing micros, it's gonna take me a few weeks to pass. Might take me like 2-3 weeks, depending on the market. Depending, I get good trades, and you know, like even that is pushing it. But if I trade, you know, 2, 3, 4 minis, I can pass an evaluation in like 2 or 3 days. If I'm like really trying to fucking grind it, you know, I have to like really be trying to pass it. If you're trading 5 micros, it might take you like I don't know. I have to go back in my Discord. There was one time where I traded micros and I passed, I think it was like 12 days, like 10 or 12 days, like making like, I don't know, 200, 300, you know, like days like that. Like anything over like 200, I would stop. And if I made $400, I would stop. You know, some days I stopped at $80, but like, just kind of like, if you get to like around $200 and you just stop trading and you just do that, you should be able to pass even trading micros in like under a month, like 3 weeks. Because you might catch a day where you make 400 or 500. I mean, so. Yeah. I mean, our Discord, we're doing a lot of talking in the morning off the open. But again, like, I want to make this also clear. Guys. I won't break even Topstep. I don't trade gold. I only trade Nasdaq. I don't trade the US either. I only trade Nasdaq. I gotta make something clear though, guys. Like, just because one person, it doesn't have to be me, anybody. Just because one person knows how to pass an evaluation doesn't mean that we can just go buy one evaluation and that's 100% we're going to pass, right? Anything can happen. I take evaluations. Now look at the market pushing all the way back up to the high side. I take evaluations with a grain of salt. If I go $33 in with Apex, I might buy 2 or 3 of them in hopes to try to pass one. You know, if I lose one along the way, okay, whatever. It is what it is. Taking a lot more trades than I would normally take. I'm taking a lot heavier size, so you're going to take those bigger losses. But I don't let that affect me because I have one agenda on mine. That's to pass the evaluation. So I'm trying to make as much money as I can very quickly. Versus when you come into the funded account, you're not trying to do that as much. You're trying to be a lot more selective, a lot more protective, and you're just trying to piece together winning days and just let the days continue to stack. If I traded my funded accounts the way that I trade a new evaluation, I wouldn't have any funded accounts. Let's just put it that way. I hope that makes sense, right? Like, I know everyone's so fixated on how to pass an evaluation, but if you don't have a system for trying to take out $200, $100, $300 out of the market every day, and you can't control that, like when some of you guys make $300 and you guys can't control that, you think you're going to make 3,000 and then blow it all, you're not really ready to be trading funded accounts. It's a different ball game. Everyone's so fixated on how to pass an evaluation. Guys, go trade like an animal and like buy 10 accounts. I'm sure you're going to pass one. I'm sure you're going to pass a couple. You can't really do that unless you know what the hell you're doing once you get to like managing drawdown. If you can't manage drawdown, you're going to have problems. Now we're getting a 20 SMA play to the high side here. We don't really have a lot of room. I do like how we're kind of trying to take out the previous hour high. We're stuck here at the 20 SMA. We're stuck at the 20 SMA on a 1 hour chart. We're getting this nice push up. What do we got here on time? Got less than a minute here before the next candle confirms. I've got supply at 34 and then 42. That also works too. Steam, look, guys, read Steam's comment. You guys can also pass them that way too. Like the focus shouldn't be on how can I pass fast. Like, you have to already know how to make money, and then you're just like, okay, I know how I can pass them fast. Like, I know what I need to do. If you're looking for a way to pass evaluations fast, tells me that you don't have a system to make money fast. Because if you had a system to make money fast, you don't know, you know what you need to do. You just need to increase your size. Increase your size times 3, times 4. Right? It's not hard, you know? Like I'll probably just more so focus and tailor my talks as if you guys are already funded, because talking about like evaluations, everyone trades them so differently. There's not a whole lot of like I can really talk about there. I like talking about how we're going to get paid, how we're going to manage real cash, right? Like how we're actually going to get to payout. That's what I like talking about. The good stuff. This Bollinger Band pinching down on us here. 1 hour chart is trying to clear out this 20 SMA. 20 SMA play on a 5-minute chart. It's getting tested. It's gotten broken a little bit. I want to see a little bit more pop. We're going to try to run this here. We're going to see if we can pick up 5 to 10. See if we can pick up 5 to 10. 5 to 10 points. I got a Bollinger Band. I got a lot of resistance up here. 1 hour chart still's got some work to do. 1 hour chart is not ready yet. This 1 hour chart is not ready to go yet. One hour chart needs to get over 36, 20,036. We get over 20,036, you're going to see this start to run a little bit. 5-minute chart not ready yet. Running into a lot of resistance here on a smaller time frame. Got this Bollinger Band really pinching down on my ass here at 33. So if we need to take out 36 and I got a Bollinger Band at 33, that's the problem here. That's the problem here. Yeah, see, we're getting a little pinned here under this 200 on a 5-minute time frame. Don't like it, I'm out. Don't like it, I'm out. Didn't go where I wanted it to go. In future, what happens with fund accounts everyone uses can impact hedge funds. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? In future, what happens with funded accounts everyone uses can impact hedge funds, companies, retail traders. No, guys, stop worrying about that stuff. Stop worrying about that stuff. I have not. But I do know someone, fabulous. I do know someone never got paid from that company. I'm not going to say who that person was, but I was told they never got paid from that company. Stick with the big ones. Stick with the big ones. Hey, Zach, I'll get with you as soon as this day is over. I'll come up with a plan with you on DM. I think we're going to lock this account out, guys. I think we're going to lock this account out. I'd have to get over 36 and a quarter. 36 and a quarter. Even that doesn't have a whole lot of room. All right, guys, I'm gonna cut this stream. I'm gonna log myself out here. We took a little bit of a loss on that 20 SMA play. Didn't really get what I was looking for. What is it? The high price was 20,026 and it shot up to 20,029, so it went up 3 points. I was expecting it to go anywhere between 5 and 10 on the first push. Probably gonna do it now, but again, I don't see myself really chasing back into this thing. I think we're gonna stop out here at 578 on the day. Lock out this XFA with Topstep. A lot of time in the market with change of direction 143. But yeah, guys, stay safe. If you guys are still trading, you know, stay safe, slow down, size down. If you still want to trade just to kind of practice, just guys, practice with 1 or 2 micros and see if your trade idea even works out. You know, practice stopping out, practice entering trades, you know, practice not holding longer than what you should. You want to do those things. That's where you want to get the screen time. You don't want to get the screen time trading, you know, big size, 1 mini, 2 minis, you know, 5 micros, 10 micros. That's not where you're going to get legitimate practice, because you're going to have too much emotions, right? You're going to have too much emotions. So I know there's a lot of people, because again, I mean, the market's going to close in 2 hours, right? And there's, I don't know how many people are sitting here listening to this stream, but like, that's telling me people are actively looking at the charts. And if you're actively looking at the charts, you're going to get tempted to want to take those trades. So if you're going to get tempted to take those trades, I would rather someone just say, hey, let me just practice my entries, practice my exits here on 1 or 2 micros. If it works, it works. It doesn't, it doesn't. You might be able to take, you know, 3 or 4 more little trades here if you see them setting up, right? Versus sitting here kind of watching the markets and then taking a trade on 1 or 2 minis and then it going against you and you lose $600 at the close. And it's like, why the hell did I just do this on a Friday afternoon, right? So again, I mean, I think the market can definitely go green today. We're going to have to take out the prior hour's high, which is, I think we're looking at the high of, what is it, 20,036. So if we get over 20,036, I've got a little bit of resistance at 42. And if it starts to close over 42, you can definitely see a green move on the day for the NAS. Again, I think that if we start to lose 19,989, I think there's potential to come all the way back down to the bottom of the range. Those would be the levels that I would be looking at personally and looking to practice on for those of you guys who want to practice. Because a lot of you guys who are definitely watching these streams, either you're trading alone and you want to like just have some background noise, which is completely fine. That's always good too. But the majority of you guys are just out there trying to learn how to trade. So I wouldn't recommend trying to go, you know, full gas, right? That we don't want to go full gas, especially on a Friday, like especially if you're green too. All right, guys, I'm going to end this stream here. I got to do some things anyways on the back end. I will catch you guys all later. On your way out, just do me a favor, hit the like button. I would highly appreciate that. Again, try to stay safe.